All right, folks. Hey, I'm going to be blunt and hopefully help you get to the same understanding as I have with the 4% rule. The 4% rule has a fatal flaw in it. It is no better than a guideline. If you use it as a rule, you're going to make poor decisions about retirement. Let me go into the details and show you why using my whiteboard. Hopefully, you enjoy this. Hey, folks, my name is Joe Kuhn. I'm 58, retired 4 years ago. I'm actually a retirement coach. I've worked with over 160 people, helping them transition from working life to being retired. That includes the cultural changes, the mindset changes, the identity changes that are going on, the relationships with spouse. What are you going to do with your time, as well as looking at people's financial plans and highlighting concerns that I may have. I'm not giving them specific advice, but concerns, gaps. If you're going alone in retirement, I promise you got gaps in there. But hey, let's get right into it. The 4% rule. Okay, I'm going to be quick at this. If you have $1 million in your portfolio, 4% says you can pull out $40,000 a year. If you have balanced funds, 60-40, that shows that you can pull that money out. There's variations of that. People talk about having guardrails, like if inflate. I didn't say this, but this is adjusted for inflation. So if there's inflation the next year, you can take out. If it's I don't want to do math, but I get scary when I do math online. But this is adjusted up for inflation. So you can take about more and more every year as it goes up. Some people put guardrails on it. If the inflation goes up, say 10%, you may have a 5% cap on your maximum going up, and then you may have a 5% drop as your minimum. But so different variations of this 4% rule. Okay, the 4% rule works great if you have fixed expenses and fixed income throughout retirement. Okay, I'm going to give an example of that. So, hey, we're going to take $40,000 from your portfolio. Again, I don't have inflation in here. $40,000 from the portfolio. Say we got $40,000 coming in from Social Security and pension. That's $80,000. That is greater than or equal to our expenses. Great, simple. Why not just follow the 4% rule? The problem, a little known thing called reality. Okay, when the 4% rule hits reality, completely falls apart. Okay, so the 4% rule, it's great with fixed income and fixed expenses in retirement. Let's put that to the test with old man reality. Expenses, I got here in blue, just some things that come to mind. Your mortgage, you got a mortgage for the first 5 years of retirement. You got a car loan, maybe for the first 2 years of retirement. What about one-time expenses? You got 2 weddings coming up, 7 years into retirement, 4 years into retirement. You got a car that you need to purchase, 5 years into retirement. Big spike coming up. You got a roof in 7 years. You got an HVAC system probably in the next 18, 24 months you need to replace. Okay, also, folks, when you retire, people grossly underestimate how much time they have. What are you going to do in that retirement? Okay, you're going to have some go-go year spending. You want to travel. You may want to do some stuff, join clubs. Just have increased spending while you're younger and able to do that. Then you're going to have some slow-go spending where you may dial it down a little bit, and then you're no-go spending. I use a couple years here, like I retired at 54 to 75. I have as my go-go. 75 to 80, I have as my slow-go. And then I drop down at 80 to just my base level spending. Does that look like fixed spending in expenses in retirement? Absolutely not. Okay, now let's look at income. You retire, let's say you retire at 55. You delay Social Security. Well, that's not 5 years. You delay it this says 5 years. Oh, but if you're 55, you may delay it till you're 70. That's a delay of 15 years. How does that factor in? Then you got a spouse that maybe not be the same age as you. They may, retire 3 years after you, a spouse. So you got this income changes happen 5 years and 8 years in this example. I'll stick with the example I wrote down. Okay. Downsizing your home. You may have a 200,000 windfall, like you're going to downsize your home and $200,000 injection. How do you factor that into the 4% rule? Windfall in 4 years. You may have an inheritance. You may have an elderly parent that's 96 years old. Hey, sometime you're going to get a quarter of their inheritance because you got 3 other siblings. Sometime that's going to happen. So maybe you put out 10 years, I'm going to get a windfall of 250,000. Okay, taxes. How much do you get to keep? How much of your taxes do you get to keep? This is all variable. These are real things that happen to 100% of people. So my question to you, does the 4% rule work? Are there fixed incomes down here? Fixed expenses up here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, so what do we do about this? So let's take a look at this graphically, okay? Hopefully you can get the picture from this. Ta-da! Okay, let me explain a little bit. This is just $40,000 mark, and here's an $80,000 mark. Let's make that 0 for you. Okay, and along this axis is your age. Okay, so we're starting this at 55, 70, 80, 85 down here. Okay, got it? Ooh, let me look at this. Okay. Let's start off with expenses. So, you retire at age 55, you say your expenses are $80,000. Oh, and then you paid off your mortgage here like at year 4. Your expenses go down. You're still living the same lifestyle, but your expenses go down. You're going on over here to around 67 or so, and the HVAC system breaks. Boom, you have this spike in expenses, but it comes right back down. Then you go along for a little bit. Then you reach age 75. Your expenses go down a little bit because you're slowing down just a little bit. And then you progress on to 80, and then your expenses go down just a little bit. Oh, then you have to put a new roof on your house. Expenses go up that year, come right back down. Then you progress along a little bit, and then your healthcare expenses just skyrocket. Okay, does this look closer to reality, the red line of your expenses, or flat 4% adjusted for inflation? Yeah. Okay, so, and these changes in expenses, you have your go-go years. I have my go-go years from 55 to 75. So that's this drop right here. Add some expenses in for travel, whatever you want to do. Then you got a slow go period of time from 75 to 80, and then a no-go where you can live really on basic income. So you got this stair step, and these couple spikes of reality come in. You can obviously put in weddings and cars and all that kind of stuff inside of there that are reality. Just reality. Now let's overlay on that your income. Okay, we're going to do that in green. So we had $1 million, let's say, and we had used the 4% rule. We're going to draw out $40,000. We draw that out, and then we have a windfall. I didn't label it here. Well, I actually had it labeled and then erased it. But we downsized our home, and we got $200,000 for downsizing our home this year. Yeah, I got it downsized right here. And then we continue on with our 40,000 income. And then the first person in a relationship files for Social Security. And then the second person files for Social Security. Then we get an inheritance, and then that continues out. Okay. Does this look more like reality? Yes, this is what reality looks like for the people that I talk to and me. You've got those lines. Does this look fixed? These lines are all over the place. This is retirement reality, what I'm calling it. Your go-go years, your slow-go years, your no-go years affect your spending. healthcare, a new roof, new HVAC, paying off your mortgage affects your expenses. The results, and this is what I see. Okay, now this could be bad news, this could be good news, but the vast majority of people that I talk to, and the message I want to get across to you is quite often this makes you work too long because you're retiring here at 55. You do the 4% rule and you say, I only got 40,000, my expenses are 80,000, I cannot retire. But then when you get out here at age 70, you actually have more than enough money. And who knows what these windfalls are going to do to you of an inheritance and the sale of your home. So the 4% rule is practically meaningless. It's practically meaningless, honestly. So it's going to make you work 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years. If you work until the 4% rule equals 80,000, you're going to have to save twice as much money. You're going to get to that point, and then fairly quickly in your retirement, you're going to have too much money and you're not going to be spending enough. So the two problems I see with the 4% rule is it's going to make you work too long and you're not going to spend enough money. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. What did I do as a result of the 4% rule not being reality and all those other life events? Well, folks, I happen to be a degreed engineer, and spreadsheets are my friend. They're that warm pillow that I hug at night. I spent hundreds of hours. I didn't track. If I was guessing, I spent 200 hours making spreadsheets, trying to model with different various assumptions for all the variables, rates of return, inflation, timing of Social Security, just making changes to all those areas. Had a lot of formulas in there. And I'll tell you what, why hundreds of hours? I kept finding cell errors, mistakes, additions, cells I should have added together. I only added 3 of the cells, needed to add 4. I'm not saying it was riddled with errors, but if you've got 1,000 different cells, good chance you're going to have 10 mistakes in there. Okay, and then that eroded my confidence, and this is a big deal. This is retiring. Okay, you wanted to be right. You wanted to be right. So I spent hundreds of hours to gain confidence because I had errors, because I had assumptions. What I do now? Well, 2 years later, I discovered a software package called New Retirement. Okay? I buy it myself. I buy it. Okay? It's a comprehensive software package. It models all life events. It does Monte Carlo simulations. It has tax and also some what I'm calling artificial intelligence with tax, and tells you what to do to minimize your taxes. Recommends specific dollar amounts on Roth conversions if you happen to retire like at 57 or something like that, and you're not going to have RMDs till 75 now. So how can you maximize or minimize your tax better? When to take Social Security. There's some artificial intelligence in there that tells you when to take Social Security. Also, it varies returns from pessimistic, average, and optimized. So, hey, folks, everybody thinking about retirement, they put in, 2% rate of return, So put in 2% rate of return just to be ultra conservative, but then also put in average and optimal so that you get the tax right. You get the tax right. If you put in 2% return, you actually get 7, and you're basing your future taxes off that, it's going to be a bad number. So it allows you to optimize there. You can model an early death. Everybody thinks that, hey, they're going to live to 95, but what happens when one of you dies at 65? Well, if you're married, you lose one of the Social Security payments that's coming in. Also, you're starting to file as a single. Well, that's a problem. What if you live longer than you expect? What if inflation's higher than you expect? What about Medicare subsidy, not subsidy, gosh, I can't think of the right word, on the spot. The premiums associated with Medicare, you have to buy, Part A, Part C, to get prescriptions, doctor coverage, that kind of stuff. And those are linked to income level. So how does that work with Roth conversions, your taxes, when you're taking Social Security? How does it all work together? Your retirement does it all for you, okay? What's that do to your confidence? What's that do to your error rate? When you got a software package you're buying that's been checked, rechecked, hey, you get 2 free weeks. Use my link in this video, okay? It's the very first link I got. Hit more under the title of this video, hit more, and it'll say, stop using Excel spreadsheets. Get 2 free weeks with this link. I'm telling you, I've got easily 500 comments that says it's a game changer. I can't believe this tool is out there. It's a game changer for you. Think about using a comprehensive software package that models everything and graphically displays it for you versus the 4% rule. All right, bringing it home. The 4% rule, it's not wrong. It just breaks down in reality, okay? It breaks down, and hopefully I've convinced you that with a simplified example, but not as simplified as the 4% rule. It'd be nice if you had a 4% rule that just worked great, but breaks down in reality. Hey, folks, don't go it alone. Hire a financial advisor, a fee-only financial advisor. Get a group of financial people to share your realities with, your decisions with. Get a close friend. Hire a coach. The 4% rule, folks, it just gives you a false sense of security. And like my fear, and like I said, talking to over 160 people, they're going to work too long and not spend enough money. I think that is failure, okay? But hey, do whatever you want. Do it yourselfers. This is what I do. New retirement, free 2 weeks. It's Joe.